What's up, guys? It's your favorite broker and host, Wayne Chappelle, and I'm back at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to be wrapping up my mini series on buyers, and today's video, which I should say is one of many today that I've done, but the last in the buyer series is going to be about credit scores. And so far we talked about, and I mentioned in my other videos that what sparked the whole discussion of buyers was in regards to some new agents that I'm working with, that I'm coaching and mentoring, that were out prospecting and finally came across, some true prospects that they're converting into their very first clients, and they just happen to be buyers. So that's the reason that, spurred me to, talk about this topic. I know this can be, kind of one-on-one or basic information to those seasoned agents and brokers out there. But for you new guys out there, I'm speaking directly to you in regards to this buyer mini series, because typically as a new agent, you're going to work with, you're going to come across buyers more likely than sellers first out at bat. But that may not be the case. So I will have some videos to follow in regards to sellers. If you do happen to, your first up at bat, you come across a seller that you're going to be representing, we will go over that in future videos. But this video, I'm just going to briefly go over credit scores and how impactful these scores are in regards to, qualifying for a loan, to purchase property. So in regards to credit scores, we all should know that credit scores are very crucial. They're very important as far as the home buying process. If your credit score is low, you run the risk of not getting approved for a mortgage, or even if you do get approved, you certainly run the risk of higher interest rates and fees, and a higher expense of, owning that property over the long haul with a low credit score. Now, I'm putting this disclaimer out there again because I am a broker. Like I said, my piece of the responsibility in this whole real estate pie, or this whole real estate transaction, is to basically market and sell property, right? Market and sell real estate. I am not a loan officer, but I do understand how critical credit scores are to this whole process in regards to the seller and the buyer. But, for the seller, it's being able to have the buyer's financing go through so they can purchase the home and the seller can move on. But for a buyer, it's critical because the buyers are one that's out there obtaining this loan. And if they have a bad credit score, they're going to be paying higher fees. They may not get qualified for the loan. So just to go over credit scores briefly and just to go over some numbers, these are general numbers. And once again, this is my disclaimer. If you're working with a buyer or you're a buyer yourself, you need to be speaking directly to your lender in regards to these credit score numbers that I'm going to throw out there, because every lender operates a little different. They have different criteria. So don't take the information that I'm about to give you and cement that it's in stone with the lender that you're working with. You always want to deal directly with the lender you're working with, because they're going to let you know what your credit score and all the other criteria has to be for you or your client. So I just want to put this information out there. So just to go over credit scores in general. So when you're looking at conventional loans, typically a buyer can have a credit score, they're going to need a credit score of 720 or above, right? This is a general number that I'm throwing out there, but most lenders are looking for, when you're dealing with conventional loans, a credit score of 620 or above. Now, when you're dealing with FHA loans, there's a little more leniency there, right? Because you're talking about being insured by, the government. And an FHA loan is insured by the government. So there's a little more wiggle room as far as the credit score goes. Now, you can have a credit score pretty much down to 500, right? 500 to 580. But here's a caveat to that. If you have a credit score of 500 to 580, forget about that 3.5% down. That is not, you're not going to qualify for that. You're going to have to come up with about 10% or maybe more on an FHA loan to be able to qualify with the lender to get that loan. So keep that in mind. Just because you have a 500 credit score, you may still get denied. But even if you do get approved, you're going to basically be putting down 10% or more on an FHA loan. And typically FHA loans, you're putting down 3.5%. That's the advantage of FHA, is a lower down payment. So keep that in mind. Now, if you have a 580 or above credit score dealing with FHA, then you will be eligible for the 3.5% down. But keep in mind, if your score is below 580, be prepared if you do get approved to be putting down more than 3.5%. You're going to be putting down 10% down or possibly more. Like I said, depending on your lender, and your lender will be the one to give you the final details on that. But in regards to VA loans, right? In VA loans, if you're a veteran and you have the VA benefits and you have VA eligibility for a VA loan, then you're looking at a minimum score of 620. So 620 on a VA loan. Now, VA loans are guaranteed by the government versus, insured like FHA are. So the VA loan is a benefit for veterans and spouses thereof that meet certain criteria to be able to qualify for the VA eligibility to basically have zero down. You're not putting any money down, but you're going to be, need to have a 620 minimum credit score to qualify for a VA loan. And one of these loans that a lot of people don't know about is USDA loans. Now, USDA, their minimum is 640. So USDA loans, you're looking at a minimum credit score of 640. And once again, depending on the lender that you're dealing with, they're going to be the one to give you the exact numbers and exact figures pertaining to your situation and the loan that you're applying for. So always use your lender as the true source of truth. And last but not least, you have, jumbo loans. Jumbo loans, you're talking a significant amount of money that you're going to be taking out as a loan. And you're going to be looking at probably the highest credit score out of all of those. You're going to be looking in the 700s. Typically, it's going to be a minimum of 720 or higher is what a lender is going to be looking at for approving you for a jumbo loan, right? So in regards to those, we went over conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, and jumbo loans. Those are kind of the main loans that are out there. Once again, conventional, you're going to be looking at a minimum of 620. FHA, I told you what the minimums were to pay 10%, but typically you're going to be looking at a minimum credit score of 580 to qualify for the 3.5% down. VA loans, you're going to be looking at a minimum of 620. USDA loans, you're going to be looking at a minimum of 640. And last but not least, once again, jumbo loans, you're going to be looking at a minimum of 720 credit score in order to qualify for these types of loans that I just mentioned. But once again, I highly implore you guys to, if you're representing buyers as your clients or customers, you always want to direct them to the lender that you're working with to get the specifics on their specific circumstance and of their particular loan program that they're trying to qualify for. So always keep that in mind. What I'm giving you is general information here so you guys can kind of understand the broad picture of credit scores and how they impact your buyers in regards to qualifying for loans. So with that being said, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys found some value out of it. As always, I need your comments and feedback below. I'm still, gauging and tailoring this channel out to what you guys want to see. I'm still fairly new to YouTube, so I don't have a lot of subscribers yet. I believe I'm at 12 at this point, which I'm thankful for 12 of you guys that have subscribed to my channel. Looking for many more of you guys to subscribe in the days and months to come. So with that being said, I want you guys to go out there, have a blessed day, go out there and make it happen, and I'll see you guys on the next video.